Hi, Richard Silke with tips and practical advice about life and relationship through stories. Today I want to talk about a mother and her 8-year-old daughter. The 8-year-old girl's teacher spoke to the mother and said to her that for her it's like greatly valuable that all the kids in the class be really helped to socialize with each other and develop their sensitivity and relationship and so on in the class, which, hey, great, totally all for that. And this teacher has a lot of emphasis on it. So the teacher told this woman, she said, boy, it's with your daughter, it's a little different. If you could talk to her and just speak to her about this thing of like how she's relating to the other kids, this one kid in particular, and help her to understand better their right morality of relationship to the other kid. And so the mother brought this up to me, and she was having real trouble with it. And I said to her, "Well, what do you think about it?" And she just got kind of a little bit agitated. And I said, "Well, to me, it sounds like, and particularly for a kid this age, doing something like that, you'd have to be really careful because it could come off as lecturing." And the mother just went, "Yeah, boy, it's like." I just absolutely hit the button for her, and she just really didn't want to do this because that's the way she felt as a kid, that she had been lectured and so on. And in any case, with an 8-year-old, she's just right. The mother's right. There's certainly you can talk to your children and help them understand morals and so on. But really, the best way for kids of that age to learn, and more so the younger you get, you don't lecture a 2-year-old, you don't lecture a 3-year-old, you don't lecture a 4-year-old. That's not the way it works. They have to be bodily brought through stuff. But with this 8-year-old, obviously she's a lot more emotionally developed, and there can be some conversation. The way she really learns is through incident and occasion and interaction with the other kids and getting some feedback and direction in that setting. So that's what we talked about, like for the mother to engage this other girl outside of the school, see what goes on, and help the two kids through a process and rightly direct them. And so the mother was thrilled about this. She invited the kid to come over for a sleepover, and she helped them, real clearly to rightly relate to each other and to happily relate to each other, redirect them to relate to each other in a happy kind of way, and observed what it was, the things that the teacher was talking about, because there were some things going over there. There was a little friction, but sitting down and doing it with her daughter and talking about it with her a bit in that situation too, pulling her aside, that really worked. And the daughter understood it better. And the teacher at school, a couple of weeks later, she talked to the mother and said, "Oh, this is, I'm glad you had this conversation with your daughter." And so then she was able to talk to the teacher a little bit about it. But developmental stages. Kids all go through them. We all go through them. They continue through life. This year's stage of life, 8 years or so, they're really not at a time when lecturing is really going to work. And even think about lecturing to a teenager. So more about this later. But bottom line here, incident, engage, redirect, in place. And be careful of the degree to which you become a talking head to your kid, no matter what age they are.